Now then, people, good afternoon and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. The football doesn't stop over the holiday season from Christmas to New Year. It is back to back. And of course, Leeds United will try and extend their 4-game unbeaten run tomorrow, Sunday at 5:45 as we head to Pride Park to take on Derby County. Now, smash me a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. After the Boxing Day round of fixtures, Leeds United are now sitting top of the tree, top of the table on goal difference. If results go our way tomorrow, maybe there might even be a gap. I'm not too sure. I wish Corberan was still in charge of West Brom because it would have definitely been a draw. But hey ho, you probably favour Sheffield United. We will be covering that game. As well as the Leeds game as well. We're not going to bother with the Middlesbrough-Burnley one because we'll be doing my post-match reaction to the Leeds one. But look, Derby County, we played them at Elland Road at the start of the month. One of the worst sides to come to Elland Road alongside the likes of Luton, Oxford. They were really poor. I know the score was only 2-0, but they were really poor. They had nothing. The likes of Caden Jackson. Remember when he sung Leeds Are Falling Apart again as an Ipswich player and then got released straight away? Ebba Adams, Jerry Adams. Jerry Yates. Jerry Adams? What? Sinn Féin? Where did that come from? I mean, he might as well play for Derby. He might have, he might add some steel in midfield or something. I don't know. But look, the Rams enter their final game of 2024 in 14th position, which, when you consider they were promoted from League One, you look at the state of Oxford, you look at the state of Portsmouth, they're not doing too bad. And I think most Derby fans, although they're not too sure on Paul Warne at times, will be content with their current position at the halfway stage, much like Leeds United are, top of the tree and all that. They are in a decent vein of form, to be honest. They've recorded 2 victories in their last 3 games, with wins against Portsmouth and West Brom. West Brom more recently, I think it was a 2-1 win. And again, that's without Carlos Corberan. So would he have got that result had he been there? I'm not too sure. But look, they do have a decent record against West Brom, so I don't want to read into that too much. They're unbeaten in 8 matches now against West Brom at home, so it shows they have a decent record against them, and sometimes you just have them hoodoos over teams, right? And Portsmouth, well, they should be beating Portsmouth. Portsmouth are not great. Portsmouth are bottom of the league, I think, or Cardiff. They're down there. So I don't want to read too much into it. And I just remember the derby that rocked up at Elland Road. Admittedly, it's a Pride Park. It's a different test. But we can't be getting beat by these. Because I saw what they put in at Elland Road and how poor they are. And if Leeds United play like we did against Stoke, then the victory is ours. And when we're talking about records at certain grounds, Leeds have a decent record at Pride Park as well. We are unbeaten in our last 4 at Pride Park. Obviously, that'll stretch back to the Bielsa time when we just used to wallop them all the time, didn't we? So after that 2-0 away win at Stoke, this game at Derby now is a real chance for us to rubber stamp our dominance and show that it wasn't a flash in the pan like the Swansea result was a few weeks back. The away form is now on the upward trajectory. The fact that Leeds United found themselves, in second prior to Stoke by having such poor away form shows that if we now improve that, then the league is ours. And like many people have maintained, Leeds will go up. Many people maintain Leeds will get promoted. Not just us, not just some of us, the fans, but even certain managers. I think that's starting to come into fruition now as we enter into 2025. And by the end of the season, that gap will be there, which some of us said would happen. A chance now to really rubber stamp our dominance and get, another 3 points on the road. Look, we've scored the most goals in the division with 43. We have the 3rd best defensive record with only just 15 goals conceded in 23 games. We've recorded 3 clean sheets in our last 5 games, and that included a shutout against Derby County. And I'm expecting another shutout at their place, genuinely, because they offered nothing and do offer nothing. I think they'll be very defensive, and we have the players to unpick the lock. We'll get onto the lineup in just a sec. But for me, I just think it'll be more of the same that we saw at Elland Road. And if we score first, right? If we score first, it's game over, right? It's good night Vienna. We know that. because the record under Farker when we score first is insane, and it just is further, nod to the cap to him. But since the 3-3 draw with Portsmouth on the opening day, Leeds have scored the first goal in 13 matches and have won all 13 by an aggregate score of 32 goals to 2. So when we've scored first, we have only gone on to concede 2 goals. That is insane numbers. That is insane dominance. That is complete control. So just like when teams are rocking up to Ellen Road, they're already bet. And I think you get in front, managers are like, what do we do here? We can't, it's like, huh? So if Leeds United score first, game over. That's the way I feel about it until it isn't a thing anymore. But I just feel in this division, it will continue to be a thing because we're just too good, You've just to look at the changes that, Ampadu coming in, and rightly so. Some people were like, oh, no, what about Howe? And we didn't miss a beat. And now it's like, who comes in? It's really an interesting one because for me, lineup-wise, I think I'd like Ampadu to stay because it's the best we've looked away. And was he a big part of that? I would argue, yes. Will he bring in Howe to play alongside him? The reason that Howe was rested, the manager said he wasn't dropped. He was rested because they don't have a winter break in Germany. Sorry, they have a winter break in Germany, so he's not used to playing this much football. It's good management. It's rotation that people say he doesn't do. But he's done it all season, really, to be fair. But could we see Rothwell rotated out for a rest? Because, that's the engine room, is the midfield. And Howe comes in alongside Ampadu. Because I think for me, everyone else keeps their spot. I'm not changing Brendan. I'm not changing Pirro. The wingers are the best combination we have right now. Nonto and Ramazani need to do more off the bench to wrestle that back. They have opportunities to do. It's like Joseph, has opportunities to wrestle it back, and when he's given them, he isn't taking them. So I can't really grumble with what Farker's putting out at the minute. Rightly so, we're all worried prior to Stoke when we saw the lineup, and he didn't miss a beat. The outcry by the Tacticos on social media was hilarious, especially when you consider it's easy with hindsight, but you're like, there you go. We are, I was going to say fine, and then nearly went into an expletive, but we are fucking fine. Leeds United, I think, will win the game. I'm quite confident now after that Stoke result. I was actually more nervous for Stoke than I was for Derby County. I think it'll be a similar scoreline. Leeds to win 2-0 again. Complete dominance. Be interesting to see. I think he might go with Owen and Ampadu, and everyone else will remain the same. We might see Schmidt come in at left back. Last 2 sub appearances, he's come on at left back. Is that with Firpo, Volberal, and then you've got Byram, who struggles to make 2 games in 5 days or 3 and 9, whatever it is at the minute over Christmas. I don't even know what day it is, folks, but we might see Schmidt come in, and I'm okay with that now. I've seen him a couple of times at left back. Still unproven, but, he's a good player. He's a good player. We know that. Better going forward than defensively, I would assume. But we'll see, won't we? Is this the perfect game for him? Probably. So the lineup remains as it is. The only conversation, I think, is the midfield. Who's dropping out? He might drop Rothwell because it's like, he might drop Ampadu because it's like, oh, well, he's back off a long layoff. He played at centre-back, then he's played in midfield, 90 minutes both times. Do we need to change him out? So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, look, that's the only conundrum that we have. Who starts in midfield? And I feel that it'll be the only conundrum we'll see on the day because I think Leeds United will win this game quite comfortably. Call me arrogant, but seeing Derby, I know it's away from home and all that, and it probably won't be as easy as it was at Ellen Road, but I still think we have too much quality for them. They're a League One side playing in the Championship. The best players are not a scratch on Leeds' worst players. And that's just facts. As Rafa would say, it's a fact. I only speak a fact. But listen, smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in and hit that notification bell, and I'll be live tomorrow around about lunchtime for West Brom versus Sheffield United. Up the baggies. Anyway, peace out. Leeds.